hate to stir it up, but Afrojack has been talking shit about you. Anything you want to say? Who? Afrojack? Who? That's what I thought.
Eminem and 50 Cent are more than just mentor and mentee. They're like brothers who've stood by each other through thick and thin, whether at award shows or in the middle of rap beefs. And when it comes to beef, these two don't play nice. They're known for being ruthless with their enemies, having clashed with everyone from legendary rivals like Ja Rule to former allies like The Game. They thrive in the chaos. One of their most recent shots fired came in August 2023 when Eminem teamed up with Esmil on a fiery track called Realist. Although it was a major spotlight moment for Esmil, Eminem completely stole the show with razor-sharp bars aimed directly at The Game. He wasn't just rapping, he was making a statement, reminding the world he's still at the top and daring anyone to come for him. One bar in particular hit hard. "All the envious rappers I torch if I'm on a joint with them, and their only retort is I'm not played in the clubs. Put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your psycho in the clubs is because you still perform it." That line was a direct shot at The Game, who had previously claimed that M's music no longer got club spins. But this feud didn't start there. It dates back to the early 2000s when The Game first linked up with 50 Cent and G-Unit. Dr. Dre had seen potential in The Game and decided to bring him into G-Unit as a strategic move to launch his career. While some saw it as smart branding, others accused The Game of riding 50's wave to fame. Either way, it worked. His debut album, The Documentary, was a huge success, featuring massive hits like How We Do and Hate It or Love It. His lyricism and storytelling stood out, proving he had real talent. But behind the scenes, tension was building. Cracks in his relationship with 50 started to show during the video shoot for Hate It or Love It, when rumors spread that 50 refused to sit next to The Game in the car, a move that sparked speculation about ego and deeper issues. Not long after, during a live radio interview, 50 Cent dropped a bombshell and publicly announced that The Game was out of G-Unit. No warning, no sugarcoating, just cut him off on air. The drama exploded when The Game showed up at the station shortly after and chaos broke out. A fight ensued and shots were fired in the madness. While both sides later tried to downplay the situation, it was clear the fallout was real and deep.
It's fat. He looked like he got a pack of hot dogs in the back.
In March 2005, 50 Cent and The Game appeared to call a truce, standing side by side, and telling the world they were ready to squash their beef and move forward. But that peace didn't last long. Once The Game officially left G-Unit, the crew started dragging him, questioning his loyalty and claiming he wasn't really built for the streets. The Game didn't take that lightly. He fired back the only way he knew how, through bars. He dropped 300 bars and runnin', a scathing diss track that set the rap scene on fire and ignited a full-scale lyrical war between him and 50 Cent. The two exchanged diss after diss, going at each other relentlessly while fans watched the drama unfold. By 2006, The Game started shifting his tone, publicly expressing a desire to end the feud and make peace. But 50 wasn't interested. He stayed ice cold, refusing to respond or acknowledge The Game's efforts. With over 100 diss tracks exchanged, the beef remained one of hip-hop's longest and most intense rivalries. In 2010, The Game made another attempt, taking to Twitter to publicly ask 50 Cent to let go of the grudge, but once again, there was only silence. Despite that, The Game kept pushing for peace. Instead of reconciliation, he got more smoke. 50 responded with new music that reignited the tension. By 2012, The Game even launched a petition calling for a G-Unit reunion, hoping to mend fences and bring the group back together. But the rest of G-Unit wasn't having it. They quickly shut it down. 2 years later, in 2014, G-Unit reunited at the Summer Jam concert. But The Game was noticeably absent, a clear sign they had officially moved on without him. Then in 2022, the tension flared again when 50 Cent shaded The Game for posting a photo with Lloyd Banks, hinting it was fake love. The Game tried to cool things down, saying the past was the past and he had no beef with 50 anymore. But just as things seemed to settle, he launched a whole new wave of drama, this time targeting Eminem. In 2022, the game dropped a controversial diss track called The Black Slim Shady, going straight for Eminem's neck while also throwing shots at 50 Cent and Dr. Dre. The track was brutal, with the game attacking M's personal life, career, and even mentioning his daughter. The diss ignited the internet with fans divided. Some praised the game's boldness while others saw it as a desperate attempt to stay relevant. People questioned the motive behind the diss, and one theory pointed to the Super Bowl LVI halftime show on February 13, 2022. It was a major moment for West Coast rap, featuring Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem, but the game was left out. Despite his impact on the West Coast scene and past connections to Dre, he was completely excluded, and insiders say the snub hit him hard. The game didn't hold back. He went on social media, reposting stories that criticized his absence from the show, calling out the industry for sidelining him. He later opened up on the I Am Athlete podcast, revealing how deeply the snub hurt. He believed it wasn't about talent, but about image, saying the industry viewed him as too raw and unpredictable for polished live TV moments. To him, his authenticity and street credibility were being punished, not celebrated. Then in March 2022, the game took his frustrations to Drink Champs, where he made bold claims, saying Kanye West had done more for his career recently than Dr. Dre ever had. He didn't stop there. He said he was better than Eminem and challenged him to a versus battle, claiming he could go bar for bar with Slim Shady. The backlash was fierce, but the game didn't flinch. He doubled down on Instagram, saying he still believed he was lyrically superior. He acknowledged that not everyone would agree, but he stood by his words and even floated the idea of a rap battle or collab to settle it once and for all. Whether the feud between him, Eminem, and 50 Cent will ever truly end remains to be seen. But that wasn't the only beef Eminem was involved in. Back in the late 2000s, rumors swirled about a past relationship between Eminem and Mariah Carey. Mariah denied it, but Eminem fired back with Bagpipes from Baghdad, a track from his Relapse album where he suggested otherwise and took direct shots at Mariah's then-husband, Nick Cannon. The lyrics were raw. "Mariah, whatever happened to us, why did we have to break up?" Followed by, "Nick Cannon, better back the bleep up. I've come to kick you in your sack of junk." Nick wasn't about to let it slide. He threatened to sue Eminem and posted a now-deleted Tumblr rant where he said, "I don't know why no one has stood up to you before. Guess it's going to take a corny whack rapping boy toy from Nickelodeon to set you straight. Trust, I'm going to be relentless." That marked the official start of a new feud. Mariah Carey jumped into the drama too, releasing Obsessed, a song and video widely seen as mocking Eminem. She dressed like him in the video, hoodie, goatee, and all, only adding fuel to the fire. Things eventually cooled down until 2019, when Nick Cannon reignited the feud during his appearance on T.I.'s Expeditiously podcast. He recalled flying back from Africa with Eminem, and later hearing M drop another diss about Mariah. Still, protective of his ex-wife, Nick said he wrote Eminem a respectful letter, praising his talent but calling out the disrespect. Fans viewed Nick's approach as mature, but Eminem took it as a challenge and responded in his own way. On Fat Joe's track Lord Above, his verse pulled no punches. "I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note, but that other dude's whipped that he got him neutered. Tried to tell him this chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped." Classic Eminem, brutal and unfiltered. Nick Cannon fired back with a diss track of his own called The Invitation, where he went all in. In one of the track's harshest lines, he spit, "Call Kim, somebody get Haley and that other kid you raising. That ain't even your baby. My baby mama killed you off a decade ago, you're still crying about it." The shots were personal, the stakes were high, and just like that, another rap war was fully reignited.
The reason I wasn't on the Super Bowl is because I'm not a safe artist. So it's just like, he not safe, so they went with the safe.
The bars were raw and personal. Nick Cannon went straight for Eminem's family, his past, and his pride. The Invitation lit up social media like wildfire. Public reaction was completely split. Some praised Cannon for finally standing up for his wife, refusing to let Eminem's shots slide. They respected him for going toe-to-toe with one of rap's most feared lyricists and defending his family's name without hesitation. But others weren't buying it. Critics accused Cannon of dragging out old drama just to stay relevant. To them, the feud had run its course and it was time to let it go. The media, of course, devoured the drama. Gossip sites, tabloids, and entertainment blogs ran wild with it. Every verse, every tweet, every sly comment turned into a headline. It became a full-blown spectacle. Fans were glued to the screen, watching for the next diss, the next clapback, the next viral moment. But in the middle of all that noise, there were voices calling for peace. Some fans hoped the two artists would finally squash the beef and get back to what really mattered, the music. They wanted growth, not grudges. Still, despite talk of moving on, it felt like the feud had become bigger than just Cannon and Eminem. It had taken on a life of its own. The shots continued. Tracks, interviews, slick social media jabs. At one point, Cannon even sampled some of Eminem's most controversial old songs, flipping the narrative and trying to tarnish his legacy. But lately, things have cooled down, at least on the surface. The constant back and forth seems to have faded from the spotlight. All three, Cannon, Eminem, and 50 Cent, have turned their focus to new projects, different business moves, and life beyond beef. Still, not everyone is convinced it's really over. Fans and industry insiders are watching closely, reading between the lines. Every lyric, every post, every interview is dissected like a secret message. People believe there's still tension bubbling beneath the surface, just waiting to explode again. And let's be real, the history here runs deep. The personal jabs, the public disrespect, the years of call-outs, none of that just disappears. It's the kind of thing that leaves scars and keeps fans on edge, waiting to see if one stray bar brings the whole firestorm back. Some even wonder if there's a bigger game at play. Is the feud real, or is it all part of the hustle? Could they be using the drama to stay in headlines and keep people talking? Whether it's personal, strategic, or a mix of both, one thing is certain. This saga had the world watching. And as long as there's history, fans will keep digging, waiting for the next round. Back in 2005, Nick Cannon met Mariah Carey at the Teen Choice Awards, and by 2008, they were married. So when Eminem dropped a diss track going after both of them, their relationship was still fresh, which might explain why Cannon went into full defense mode. Even though the marriage didn't last, they divorced in 2016 after 8 years, Cannon's loyalty never faded. He's continued to defend Mariah, especially in public, and they've remained respectful for the sake of their twins, Moroccan and Monroe. Meanwhile, 50 Cent also got pulled deeper into the drama when Cannon roasted him during his podcast. Nick didn't hold back. He clowned 50's appearance, joked about his weight, and said it looked like he had a pack of hot dogs on the back of his neck. Wild, right? At first, 50 didn't seem fazed, but of course he clapped back. In classic 50 Cent fashion, he posted a slick message on Instagram that wasn't just about looks, it was about respect. He wrote about trusting in God and how success comes from faith, not luck, but it was the caption that hit hardest. If your marketing campaign is say something about 50, you're not going to make it. In other words, if you're using 50's name for clout, it won't end well. He even closed the post with a sarcastic, "Have a nice day." Classic 50. But that wasn't the first time 50 came for Nick. Back in a 2020 Breakfast Club interview, he gave his unfiltered take on the whole Eminem vs. Cannon saga. He said Eminem lives for battle rap and thrives under pressure. When someone tests him, that's when he gets dangerous. The conversation shifted to Cannon's track "Used to Look Up to You," and 50 clarified it wasn't about Eminem. It was aimed at him. Still, he didn't take it seriously. He basically laughed it off and said Cannon's rap skills never impressed him, calling him legendary corny from the beginning. The hosts were cracking up, agreeing with 50's take. Then in a more recent interview with Forbes journalist Brian J. Roberts, 50 got a little more personal, but still threw jabs. While reflecting on regretting buying a massive mansion for himself, he joked that maybe Nick Cannon could use it, with all those kids.
I think, yeah, that's true. those rumors are true, and I'm not going to deny them.
So did you date him?
No. Can I just clarify that I did not have a physical relationship with him? I did not have an intimate relationship. I've been with less men than I can, than on one hand. So
Eminem once joked, "A smaller house is all I need, but Nick Cannon and his 12 kids, yeah, they probably need a place that size." Even though things between Eminem and Cannon seem quieter now, it's unclear if the tension has really ended or if it's just on pause. Fans are still watching, waiting to see if one joke, one lyric, or one post could reignite the feud. But before that beef even took off, another war was already burning: 50 Cent versus Ja Rule, one of the most infamous feuds in hip-hop history. It all started in 1999 when Ja Rule was robbed at gunpoint while filming a music video. Word spread that someone affiliated with 50 Cent was behind the stick-up. According to 50, Ja later spotted him and the alleged robber at a club and gave him a cold stare, sparking tension. But Ja told a different story. He admitted to the robbery, but denied seeing 50 that night. He claimed the real drama started when 50 felt disrespected after being left out of the Murder Inc.'s video shoot for Murder for Life. Regardless of who started it, 50 retaliated that same year with a diss track called Life's on the Line, aimed directly at Ja and Murder Inc. Although it was meant for his debut album Power of the Dollar, the project was shelved. Meanwhile, Ja Rule's debut Veni Veti Veci was a massive success, selling millions. By 2000, the beef turned physical. Both rappers were booked to perform at the same club in Atlanta, and a face-off quickly turned into a brawl. Things escalated when 50 and his G-Unit crew were at Hit Factory Studios in NYC, and J. Rule's Murder Inc. crew showed up, reportedly tipped off. Violence erupted, and 50 ended up stabbed by Murder Inc. rapper Black Child. That incident locked both sides into a deadly rivalry. By 2002, 50 Cent dropped Wanksta, a track widely seen as a diss at J. Rule. It hit number 13 on the Billboard charts and was a turning point. 50 was officially in the game and unapologetic about the beef. But controversy hit when Irv Gotti claimed 50 filed an order of protection against him and Ja, a serious allegation in rap. 50 denied it, and the truth later came out. The police filed it on 50's behalf, not at his request, keeping his street credibility intact. Between 2002 and 2003, the war went nuclear in the booth. 50 unleashed tracks like I Smell P. Kai, Back Down, and a savage remix of Hail Mary mocking Ja Rule's whole persona. That remix especially stung, accusing Ja of copying Tupac. Ja clapped back with Loose Change and Guess Who Shot Ya, escalating the lyrical war. Each new track felt like another round in a heavyweight fight. Despite years of disses, the beef never truly ended. In 2007, Ja tried flipping the narrative, saying in an interview that 50 had copied his style after signing with Shady Records. Then in 2013, Ja shocked fans by admitting 50 won the beef. Later that year, the II-2 were even spotted on the same flight sitting in the same row, sparking rumors of peace. But that hope was crushed when 50 performed I Smell P-Money at Summer Jam, signaling the feud was still alive. Things escalated again in 2014 when Ja dropped his memoir Unruly and accused 50 of snitching, claiming he tipped off police and sparked a federal investigation into Murder Inc. 50 denied it, but the accusation stuck in fans' minds. In 2015, while Drake and Meek Mill's beef dominated headlines, both 50 and Ja claimed their feud was real beef, not industry theatrics. By 2017, Ja faced public embarrassment over the failed Fyre Festival, and 50 didn't hesitate to mock him online. In 2018, Ja reignited the feud with Twitter jabs, and 50 responded with savage memes. Then came the legendary petty move. 50 claimed he bought 200 front-row seats to Ja's Vegas concert just to leave them empty. He even posted a photoshopped image of himself sitting in the empty rows. By 2019, things were still tense. Ja clowned 50 over his ties to Tekashi 6699, calling them both rats. Eminem also got dragged into the drama, not by choice, but through loyalty to 50. Ja tried provoking M in Loose Change with a savage line. "You claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known." So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? That line crossed a line. Eminem responded with Haley's Revenge and a vicious Hail Mary remix featuring 50 and Busta Rhymes. Ja answered with Clap Back, and M followed with Go to Sleep. By 2004, Eminem declared the beef over, calling it childish, and saying his label already won. Still, Ja Rule's name mostly resurfaced when connected to 50 or M, and he contradicted himself in interviews, saying he wanted peace, then saying they'd always be enemies. But the drama didn't stop there. Eminem found himself in another slow burn fallout, this time with Joe Budden. In 2011, Budden's group Slaughterhouse signed to M's Shady Records. Fans hoped for big things, but tensions rose fast. Eminem, the executive producer, pushed a more polished mainstream sound for their Welcome to Our House album. Joe hated it. He felt it stripped away their raw energy and said publicly on his podcast that the group would have done better without M's direction. Joe's issues weren't just about the music. He thought M and Paul Rosenberg mismanaged the group, pushing them into a formula that killed their momentum. The tension simmered until M dropped Kamikaze, firing shots at multiple rappers, Budden included. Joe didn't respond with bars but torched M on his podcast, criticizing everything from M's business sense to his musical relevance. KXNG. Crooked confirmed on IG Live that Joe's anger ran deep, especially over how Slaughterhouse was handled. Joe's public bashing of M's Revival album only added fuel to the fire. M responded in fall, taking aim at critics and reaction videos, widely believed to include Joe. D12's Bizarre chimed in, defending M and calling out Joe, who fired back with a physical threat. Then 50 Cent stepped in, posting a photo of Joe with a warning, "You got a swooping coming." It was clear 50 had M's back and Joe was now up against both of them. In a 2018 interview with Sway, Eminem opened up. He said he always supported Slaughterhouse in public while Joe used his platform to bash him. M said the group had enough tracks to drop the long-delayed Glass House album, but the members couldn't agree. As M focused on Revival, Slaughterhouse just went silent. He also explained why Welcome to Our House was so commercial. Fans wanted that gritty feel, but M tried to stay hands-off and let the group decide. Then Joe suddenly asked, "Who got the money?" M was stunned. He wasn't even sure he made a dime from the group. He just believed in them. In the end, Eminem and 50 Cent have shown time and again that their bond goes beyond music. Whether it's ride-or-die loyalty or ruthless lyrical warfare, they've stood together through every beef, every diss, and every betrayal. Their legacy? A decade-spanning saga of power, bars, and unwavering allegiance.